Welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got something absolutely wild to share with you, something that's shaking up the crypto space in ways very few people expected. We're talking about ICP, yes, the Internet Computer Protocol, and some mind-blowing developments surrounding it. There are new whispers about Coinbase potentially going on-chain using ICP's infrastructure, exchanges literally running out of ICP tokens, and a repeating fractal pattern that previously preceded a jaw-dropping 432% rally. That's not clickbait, that's data history repeating itself. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a professional before making any investment decisions. But before we dive into the technicals, let's rewind a bit and talk about the event that set the entire crypto community buzzing, the official registration of ICP as a company in Zug, Switzerland. Trust me, this is not some routine corporate paperwork. This move could very well mark a turning point for the way blockchain companies operate in the real world. So here's what happened. The Dfinity Foundation, the team behind ICP, just registered an official entity in Zug. And if you're not familiar with that city, let me put it this way. Zug is not just a dot on the map of Switzerland, it's Crypto Valley. This is where the serious blockchain players, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, have all built legal homes. It's a global hub for crypto innovation, legal clarity, and next-level blockchain adoption. But the shocking detail is this. The entire share capital of the new company was paid in ICP tokens to the tune of 380,000 ICP. Let that sink in. They didn't use fiat currency. They didn't even use stablecoins. They used their native token as the legal, recognized contribution of value. And that's huge because under Swiss corporate law, crypto assets like ICP can actually be used as legitimate non-cash assets to incorporate a company. In other words, this isn't a symbolic gesture. It's legally binding. It's the real-world integration of crypto into traditional business systems. This marks a key evolution for blockchain adoption. We're no longer talking about decentralized apps in experimental phases or meme coins chasing short-term pumps. We're seeing blockchain infrastructure being used as the foundation for registered, compliant, real businesses. And this isn't just about ICP setting up a shell company. This move represents a new model where blockchain becomes part of the corporate fabric. It shows regulators and institutions that digital assets can underpin real capital structures and that crypto is no longer living in a gray area. For holders and believers in the ICP ecosystem, this development is massive. It validates the long-term vision that Dfinity's been pushing from day one, that the Internet Computer is not just another token to trade, but a revolutionary platform capable of hosting AI, web services, and next-generation decentralized systems directly on-chain. Take Caffeine AI, for instance, a project already being built using ICP's infrastructure. It's an example of how the network's integration with artificial intelligence could transform how applications run on blockchain. The same founder behind ICP is also expanding this ecosystem into areas of corporate technology that were once unimaginable. This is the kind of foundational growth that separates serious blockchain platforms from the ones that disappear during bear markets. ICP is showing real-world traction, not just theoretical potential. Now here's where things start to get even crazier. There's growing chatter that Coinbase, yes, that Coinbase, one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, could be preparing to run operations or services directly on the Internet Computer. Now let me be clear, these are still rumors. Nothing is officially confirmed. But the fact that this conversation is even happening is noteworthy. Multiple reports and insider leaks hint at Coinbase exploring on-chain functionality that could utilize ICP's architecture. If that turns out to be true, the implications are enormous. Imagine one of the world's most heavily regulated, widely used exchanges with millions of users and billions in daily trading volume shifting some of its systems onto the Internet Computer. That wouldn't just be adoption. It would be a monumental validation of ICP's scalability, security, and real-world utility. And interestingly, there's data supporting this sudden interest. Analysis across blockchain tracking platforms shows that Coinbase's ICP reserves are steadily depleting. Their supply isn't bouncing back. It's been in a consistent downward trend. Think about that for a second. When a major exchange cannot keep a token in stock, that's a strong signal of growing demand. We're not talking about a temporary fluctuation. We're seeing sustained outflows of ICP from exchange wallets, suggesting either accumulation or long-term holding by investors. This isn't retail speculation, it's structured accumulation. In the past 24 hours alone, ICP has seen trading volumes of over $1.4 billion, with a total market capitalization hovering around $4.3 billion. Those aren't small-cap altcoin numbers. That's what conviction looks like. Money moving with a clear purpose, driven by growing utility and investor confidence. What's more interesting is that ICP's fully diluted valuation sits roughly in the same range as its market cap, meaning most of its supply is already in circulation. That reduces inflation risk and means the market isn't facing sudden token unlocks that flood supply. This combination of limited availability and surging demand is often the early signal of a project transitioning from being undervalued to becoming unavoidable. And the data doesn't stop there. ICP recently crossed 160 million transactions, putting it ahead of Solana, Base, and BNB Chain combined. Yes, combined. This transaction volume isn't driven by bots or spam either. A wide variety of applications, DEXs, AI integrations, and decentralized services are actively utilizing ICP's on-chain compute capabilities. Exchanges are scrambling to acquire more ICP to keep up with withdrawal demand, with custodial whale wallets seeing major increases in holdings. This is the kind of network activity that points to sustainable utility growth, not just a speculative wave. Now, let's talk charts, because while the fundamentals are lighting up, the technicals might be telling us an even bigger story. A seasoned crypto trader recently identified a fractal pattern forming on ICP's weekly chart, one that previously preceded a 432% rally. So what's this pattern about? It consists of three key phases. 1. A long period of price accumulation. 2. A falling wedge pattern signaling compression. 3. A breakout above the 50-week moving average. Here's what happened before. Back in late 2023, ICP traded sideways for months, building up pressure around the $2.90 zone. Eventually, it broke out of that wedge, reclaimed its 50-week moving average, and skyrocketed more than 400% toward its resistance trendline. Fast forward to now, and the chart looks eerily familiar. ICP just completed another long accumulation phase, bounced strongly off its base, reclaimed the 50-week moving average at around $6.40, and broke through the wedge resistance near $8.58. At the time of writing, ICP is hovering close to $9, with momentum continuing to climb. RSI indicators show a strong upward move, confirming renewed buying pressure. If history repeats itself and the fractal pattern remains intact, ICP could be at the beginning of another significant expansion phase. The first price target, based on this structure, sits near $26.65, roughly 195% higher than current levels. Beyond that lies the long-term resistance trendline, potentially opening the door to even higher valuations later in the market cycle. But as always, crypto doesn't give guarantees. If ICP breaks below its 50-week moving average again, it could invalidate the fractal. Risk management remains key, especially in a volatile market like this. The bigger story here, though, isn't just about technicals or price targets. It's about resilience. ICP has been written off countless times since its launch. Critics called it dead. They said it was overhyped and overvalued. But here we are, seeing it build real companies, attract institutional curiosity, and form technical setups that suggest renewed momentum. This combination, legal validation in Switzerland, potential Coinbase integration, and clear signs of accumulation, creates what many analysts are calling a perfect storm for sustainable growth. The fundamentals are aligning, the technology is scaling, and the market sentiment is finally catching up to the project's long-term potential. For those watching from the sidelines, ICP is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. For holders, it's validation that the vision behind the internet computer is finally taking tangible form. But remember, this is crypto. Volatility is part of the game. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Still, when you combine institutional-grade moves, on-chain traction, and technical strength like this, it's hard not to see something special forming beneath the surface. So, to wrap it all up, ICP isn't just bouncing back, it's evolving. From incorporating legally with ICP tokens in Switzerland's crypto valley, to whispers of Coinbase exploring on-chain operations, to repeating a historic bullish pattern that once led to a 432% rally, everything seems to be converging. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or simply watching this space unfold, one thing's clear. ICP is rewriting what blockchain can do for real-world businesses. If this momentum holds, the next few months could define a new chapter, not just for ICP, but for the future of decentralized computing itself. So, what do you think about ICP's current position? Are you bullish on its growth in AI and DeFi? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay cautious, and I'll catch you in the next one.